welcome to this intro video. If you don't know me, this video is going to be helpful and insightful because it's going to give you all the context. My name is Pablo Flores. I'm from Spain. I come from Canary Islands, born and raised. And right now I consider myself a closer, a sales director, a sales coach, and a sales consultant. But it didn't start that way. If we go all the way back, I'll share with you my story. Let me just put myself here. I got started working in a kitchen, 9 hours a day as a kitchen assistant, cook assistant, working all day, sweating all time, frying chicken, frying fish, things like that. My hands were full of cuts and burns, and I hate my life. Like I hated it. I was getting home super tired. I was living in a life of frustration and constant anger because I knew I didn't come to this world to just be this guy. Do you see this guy? Do you see this face here? Like, I was like, I didn't come to this world to be working in a kitchen. I'm sorry. Like, this is not me. Like, this is not why I'm being put in this world. And the reason why I was so frustrated is because I wasn't doing anything, and I was constantly thinking, where I'm going to be 20 years from now if I just keep going down this line. So I got to a certain point where I was like, okay, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to change my life, right? I'm going to live the best life I possibly can, full of financial abundance and freedom, or I'm going to die trying, I don't care. So that was my moment where everything started for me, all right? So long story short, just to not bore you with my story, I spent 2 years trying to build my own online business, like a CEO, like a founder, and I failed miserably. Yeah, I got some clients here and there, but I was on the red constantly. I invested a lot of time, energy, and money. I got myself in debt, and nothing was working. And I got to a place where, and by the way, all of this while still working in my 9 to 5, okay? So I got to a place where nothing was working after 2 years. I was even thinking about giving up, but I just couldn't because it's like, I'm not going to accept this life of just like this employee life. It's just not going to happen. And that's where when I discovered remote closing, high-ticket closing. Okay, I saw these guys and I was like, these guys are making 5 figures per month and they don't even have to run a business. Like, they don't have to deal with all these responsibilities, taking all these risks. Like, what is this? And that gave me light at the end of the tunnel. It gave me hope. I was hopeful again. I was like, maybe this is I can do this. And you know what? At that point, I was trying to build my own business in Spain. So my English was horrible. But even though, since I saw the model, I studied the model, I was like, hey, I can learn English. Like, my English is like, it's okay. I can just keep learning English and just enter the English market, become a high-ticket closer. I can do that. But I had 2 big problems. Number one, like, I was like very, very destroyed mentally after 2 years and no results. So my confidence was a little bit like broken in that sense. I was more insecure at that time. But also number two, I had no funds because I spent all my savings and I spent all my credit. And this is a statement of the debt that I had. So I was faced with 2 decisions. Hey, I give up, it is what it is, or I just find a way to make this work. And I wasn't going to give up. Again, remember, I made a promise to myself and I was keeping that promise. I'm going to die trying. So what did I do? Well, at that time, the first thing that I thought was like, okay, let me speak with my partner because my partner had credit, okay, that was not used. So I had a conversation with her and I was like, hey, this is the situation. I'm doing this. These are my goals and I want to achieve this not only for me, but for us as well. I want to create this life. And I know you have this and you can say no, no worries. Again, no problem. I'm going to find another way if you don't feel comfortable with, using your credit. That's totally cool. You can say no. It's okay. But I'm here right now asking for you to support me on this journey, for you to come all in with me because I'm doing this. And she told me, hey, no worries. I know this money on this credit is going to be put to a better use if we put it on you. If I bet on you than anything else. So no worries, count on me. And she bet on me. Like, she trusted me. And we took her credit and I invested in a mentor in a remote closing academy. And I locked in and I went all in because now I had double responsibility because someone was fully trusting me, not only with their life, but also with their money. So I went all in. I locked in. This program was like 3 months. I went all in on training, on like devoting, immersing myself in high-ticket closing, also learning English. If remember, like, I come from Spain, locked in, zero distractions. So from January, 3 months, I was doing my training. And then after my training, I started hopping on calls. I started hopping on other offers and trying to really achieve my goals as a high-ticket closer. And then in June 2021, so from here to here, 6 months total. Okay. Here, I wasn't making any money, guys. First 3 months, I was just training. After my 90 days, I was, on other offers. I might make like 2 sales here, 4 sales here. And I was just jumping from, finding the right offer for me. I did like 2, 3 offers. And then my 4th offer, I found it at the end of June. And that offer was the offer where things really took off for me. I started in July. So I found it at the end of June, got in, worked in July. Then in August, I got my first pay. And these are the results after all this time that I just walked you through. From the beginning, working in the kitchen, all the failed attempts, burning my own money. Here's what happened. 5K, and by the way, there's a typo here because this is dollars. It's actually in euros, as you can see, okay? 5,000, 7,000, 7,000, then 8,000. And in the 5th month, I hit 5 figures in a single month. And that moment changed everything. It wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, I'm going to party, but it was like the evidence that I was looking for. You see, I was like telling myself, you see, it's possible. And then from there, we kept going. I just doubled down, kept locked in, and I just kept learning, training, and kept producing results. And the money kept coming. The results kept coming. All of these sacrifices that I did started to pay off. And I changed my life. I completely transformed my life. I got to a place where I got to enjoy the fruit of my labor. Now, I don't want you to think that you're going to get to a place where you're going to work from the beach and just take calls from the beach, because in my experience, that doesn't work like that. You lock in, you produce, you transform yourself, and then, yes, you program some dates in the future where you're going to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And then you fully disconnect, you enjoy, and then you just come back in and you just keep building and you keep growing. That's how I do it, all right? So I have seasons of full push, and then towards the end or towards the next year, I program things, and I just enjoy, of course. So that's what happened. I completely transformed my life. I started working remotely, and never touched like an in-person type of job again. And it was amazing. But I was grateful, but never satisfied. So every time I would come back, I would just double down. I would just invest in myself again. I just kept training, kept learning, and the results kept coming. So I'm just putting here some screenshots. I kept investing in myself. I invested in mentors, masterminds, training. By now, I have invested more than $60,000 in my own education, in sales and entrepreneurship, management, all kinds of cool things about the things that I like, which is sales and online businesses. And I continue to produce great results, not only for me, but also for the teams that I was consulting, that I was training, that I was managing. So I was grateful, but never satisfied. And that allowed me to go from closer to sales manager, to sales coach, to sales consultant, even just going into in-person events and just training all the teams, not only online, also in person, meeting great and amazing entrepreneurs and amazing closers. And this is something that I want to share with you as well. Like closing is amazing. You get to make good money, you get to change your life, you get to change other people's life. But the beauty of these guys is like, if you achieve your goals as a closer, a lot of other opportunities open up for you. A lot. Like not only this was my journey, but other opportunities will open up for you. So becoming a high-ticket closing is super high-ticket closer, super helpful to go from nothing to something. But then from there, you can continue to grow tremendously. Some people like to stay as a closer and they just keep, exploiting that as much as they can. And that's great as well. I know a lot of closers, really good closers making 20, 30, 40K per month. And it's amazing. They love it, right? And also there's all the ways. So I kept growing. I kept investing in myself and really developing my vision, because your vision will change as you grow. And by now, these are some of the clients that I've worked with. I've either consulted their teams, trained their teams, managed their teams. This is some of them, okay? And now we're here today. And if you are here watching this video, it means a couple of things. Well, number one, hopefully this story inspires you, because if this guy right here, let me just go up. If this guy right here was able to get to this place right now, coming from a different country, a different language, with an introvert personality, why can't you? Why can't you achieve similar results? You totally can. You totally can. And I am living proof of that. Okay, that is number one. But also number two is this. Once someone told me that if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. So if you don't sacrifice today for your dreams and for your goals, if you don't sacrifice today and you say no to things, if you don't do that, this is what you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing the best life you can live. You're sacrificing all the abundance you can get, and all the things you get to do with these amounts of money, of impacting other people, the people you love, you yourself, getting yourself to a next level. If you don't sacrifice now, you don't lock in now, you don't sacrifice for your goals, you're sacrificing this. What you want becomes the sacrifice. And once I heard that quote, a mentor told me, I was like, damn, like now, even though nowadays, knowing all the potential that I have and how far I can go, is like, I'm not going to sacrifice that. It's not even in the equation. I'll do whatever it takes. And that is what got me to lock in. And if you're watching this video, that means that you are not alone. That means that you have all this help here, but you have to make this decision to lock in and do whatever it takes to achieve your goals and go from where you are to where you want to be with your own hands by putting in the work and just literally creating this bridge. And if you do it and you never give up and you go all in on yourself, you will get there. And I am living proof of that. So if you are ready to keep crossing in this journey, I'll see you on the next training.